How's it going, guys? This is the Core 3 from fightinggamesonline.info, and I'm back with another fighting game tips and definitions. We are starting basically chapter 3, which is the body, and we're going to go over today buffering, right? So, execution is definitely a large part of fighting games, and one of the most challenging parts of execution is something that most fighting game players really enjoy, and that is combos. So before we jump into creating combos, there's one important technique that's going to make your life a lot easier. In most fighting game engines, there's some sort of programming that allows your inputs to be saved for just a few seconds. This also includes motions, right? As you know, like your special moves, basically. The special circumstance is known as a buffer. Now, you might just be wondering, how is a buffer going to improve the execution? Well, I'm going to show you right now, right? Oftentimes, when we start using super moves in fighting games, we tend to do them purely as last ditch efforts. So, sort of like a Hail Mary. Unfortunately, if your opponent kind of knows what you do, then you're basically going to activate the super, and then they're just going to bait you into using it, right? And then you get punished severely. So, the most optimal way to use a super or a special move in most cases is to land a hit confirm from a normal attack and then cancel it into the super, right? So like with Karen, of course, it's just kind of like hit confirm here. And then that's kind of, what you would normally see, right? Now, if you've already kind of attempted to do this, you might find it to be a bit difficult. And this is most likely because you're trying to do the hit confirm and then execute the oftentimes very motion heavy super right after. And I could definitely speak from experience by saying this is pretty hard and sometimes impossible to do successfully. And so this is where buffering is going to solve that problem. Okay. So what I'm going to do with Karen is I want to use her medium punch, right, which is cancelable and can go directly into a super move. All right. So her super move requires 2/4 circle forwards in order to activate. All right. But by using a buffer, right, I'm gonna do the first quarter circle forward, and that's gonna buffer basically, and then I'm gonna use the medium punch, right, and then during this time, quarter circle forward is still gonna buffer despite me using the medium punch, and this allows me to do the second quarter circle forward into a punch, and then go into the super move. All right. So here it goes. So just simple as that, right? So I simply just split the motion in half, using the medium punch as a hit confirm that will cancel into my super move. So hopefully at this point you're realizing just how great buffering is and how much it can help you when you're trying to execute some more complex motions. All right. Now that you have just to kind of review, right? I did the quarter circle forward motion with the medium punch. So right here, I'm doing the quarter circle forward, a quarter circle forward motion. And let me just, I forgot to do key display. So you can see the keys. So you can see me using the quarter circle forward motion, right? Right. So just basically me using the quarter circle forward motion and then pressing the medium key, right? And then I just do it for a second time and then boom. Okay. Now that you have an idea of how you can use a buffer, let's get into a few more examples. In some cases, you can activate special moves and supers in the air. Oftentimes, trying to execute a motion after jumping is a struggle, but with a buffer, things will be a little bit easier. All right. So let's use Zangief for this example. His new move in Street Fighter V allows him to perform a spinning cyclone in the air. So the spinning cyclone is definitely one of the hardest special moves to master as it requires you to do a full 360-degree motion in order to activate. Now, you would think trying to do this while airborne would be pretty impossible, but as luck would have it, The 360 can be buffered, which means that you can start the motion on the ground, jump, and then press the button once you're airborne, and the special will come out. All right, so let me just give you an example here. Oh yes, I got to put Mr. Ken on the jump. Right. Uh, oops. Just one more for good measure here. Oops. Okay. Let me just take this off. All right. So of course, this is going to take some time to practice, especially when it comes to activating it at certain heights of the jump. But you can at least be at ease knowing that at least you can start the motion before you leave the ground, making it a lot easier to execute in the long run. All right. Now you will find that there are some game-specific buffers that'll help make things much easier as well. The Street Fighter series has a special buffer known as a negative edge. Negative edge will allow you to hold the button that you press while doing a motion. Letting go of the button after you've done the motion will activate the special move, acting as a shortcut that will basically eliminate the extra step of having to press the button again in order to activate the special, right? So here we'll look at Ryu. Ryu, of course, has his standing medium, and he can basically cancel this into his fireball. So what we're going to do is I'm going to basically, you know, do the medium punch. I'm going to hold the button, do the motion, and then let go of the button, right? So hold, let go, and then that's basically what happened, right? Hold, do the motion, let go. Last but not least, buffers are great for canceling special moves in the supers. If you recall earlier, we split Karen's move in half, buffering the quarter circle forward before hit confirming with her standing medium punch, and then going into the second quarter circle forward to activate her super. So we're going to do the exact same thing using Ryu, but of course this time his special move is going to be the first half of the buffer, that quarter circle forwards. And then there you have it. Right. Remember that you may not be able to buffer your motions in the same cases, especially if your character happens to have a special move or a normal that cannot cancel into a super move. So that's all there really is to it. Now you want to head into the training room and see what kind of buffers you can use with your character.